Being a leader in rare disease research, for me, it's all about hope, providing an option, providing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Rare disease is rare, and that generates all kinds of interesting problems that we need to solve, from how to even define what this population of patients looks like, to how we can study those patients.
When you design a clinical study, you define what are the clinical endpoints, the so-called outcome measures that you're going to monitor during the clinical study. For a rare disease, that outcome measure may not exist, which means that in our clinical development, number one, we need to define the endpoint. The differentiation of the Alexion approach to rare disease R&D, it's all about a truly patient-centric approach. The ability of Alexion to understand, analyze, absorb the feedback from patients and their family.
One of the areas where we've really focused at Alexion in demonstrably incorporating patient insights is in clinical trial design. And so if you're working in a neuromuscular study, for example, and really trying to assess 6-minute walk test, that might be important from a scientific perspective, but what really matters to those patients is being able to hold a fork, continue to have a level of independence. So understanding those nuances and how we look for certain assessments to impact outcomes in a study is really important.
In addition to the strategic complexity of defining and designing a study, there's an operational complexity.
For us, quite often we open one site for one patient, and so the needs of each patient are really important to us, and we have to focus really exquisitely finely on what will make that patient successfully able to participate in our studies, whether it's organizing access and accommodation for them and their caregiver, whether it's organizing remote medicine, remote nursing, or whether it's organizing an informed consent in Mongolian overnight. Whatever the patient's needs, that's what we have to do.
It's such a privilege to work for a company that committed early on to solving needs for people with rare and ultra-rare diseases. And to be able to come in and serve those patients is something that I think is really, really, really powerful.